Hi, this is Dave, Fell Running Guide. Welcome to this week's map reading task. So this week we've got a view from a trig point, and I'm giving you 3 map extracts, and I want you to work out which map extract matches the photograph and where the photo was taken from. So we have this map of Gorpal reservoirs with a trig point up here on Heptonstall Moor. We've got several reservoirs here. We've got Ogden reservoirs down here, Black Moss reservoirs here. We have a trig point there and another trig point there. And then the third map here, we've got Walkerwood reservoirs here and Swineshaw reservoirs here. You can just about see Arnfield reservoir there. And we've got the trig point there on Wildbank Hill. So those are all 1 to 50,000 Ordnance Survey maps. Which one matches the photograph? So let's go back and have a look at that photo in a bit more detail, see what we can see. Well, obviously a trig point, we'd expect it to be a high point. If we head down towards the reservoirs, we get to this horizon line just ahead of us. And we can't see the ground immediately beyond that. It is in what we call dead ground. We can't see what's immediately ahead because of the shape of the ground. Well, then away further in the distance, we've got 2 reservoirs. You've got a distinctive shape. Looks like a dam wall there. And then beyond the reservoirs, we've got a distinctive block of woodland going up the far bank. Notice the shape of the ground. On this side of the reservoir, we've got a slight rise up to the left. Got a block of trees there. They may or may not be on the photograph. But I think it's the shape of the reservoirs and the surrounding land and these woods that's important. So rather than me explain the answer this week, what I've decided to do is take some comments off social media. Lots of people commenting on Facebook. So I'm going to give some people a little bit of a chance of glory. And let's see what their explanations were and see if they make sense. So let's have a look at some of the comments. So firstly, we've got Ed, who is saying that it's Black Moss Reservoir from Big End, saying that the forest is the main clue. It's the only map with a correctly positioned forest on the opposite side of the reservoir. Some trees have been cleared, but we can see the plantation area is right. And also the higher reservoir has the correct kink on what we now see is the north side. So let's see what Ed actually means by that. So I've got the photo and the map side by side. So Big End here, sorry for that writing here, but we've got Big End there, looking down onto Black Moss reservoirs. So there, those reservoirs there, and that woodland there. Ed mentions it's been felled, but we can see that the shape of it would come right down to the reservoir itself. So yeah, that's a good observation. Anything else? Well, he mentioned the kink in the north side of this reservoir. So that there is that little kink there. So those are good observations. Anything else? Let's have a look. We also had a good answer from Ian, who's saying, again, Black Moss reservoirs, 2 promontories on the northern side of both reservoirs, and the wood coming down to the water's edge. Again, noting that tree felling has taken place. but the forest edge remains and is visible in the photo. And Ian is saying he hopes he gets this one right because last week he failed dismally. So let's see what he means by these two promontories. So I think what we're talking about here is what we've just mentioned previously there, that little sticky out bit of land there, and also on this reservoir we've got another little area that sticks out. So these little kinks here and here, and again the woods coming all the way down. So yeah, that's good. Anybody else? So got an answer from Michael, who's saying that again he thinks it's Black Moss Reservoir. The simplest reason being the lack of surrounding hills at a similar or greater elevation from the trig point. So let's see what he means by that. So if we look at the first map, the trig point is 398, and we're looking over to Gorpal reservoirs. But here we've got higher ground to the left of that reservoir, actually higher than the trig point itself. So that doesn't fit with the photograph, does it? Because the photo shows that there isn't much high ground around. Let's just have a look there. So we'd expect to see higher ground, higher than we are here to the left of that reservoir. So that's well noted. If we look on the third map, then 399 trig point, but we've also got 395 over to the left, similar height, and quite a prominent steep-sided hill to the right of the reservoirs there that's only 50 metres lower than us there. Whereas the big end or trig point 557 significantly higher than a lot of the ground around it. So yeah, that's a good observation. And then Martin has spotted something else here. He's saying there's a track along the far side of the upper reservoir coming down the embankment almost towards you and crossing the head of the lower lake. So Martin's spotted a track. Can we see that? So what he means by that is this track coming along here and then between the reservoirs, turning right and coming back almost towards us at our location. So that is that track there coming along and kinking and back up towards us. So yeah, that's a good spot. And then one more. This is from Martin Rowe, who is a regular commentator. We don't know what we'd say, but he always replies with some visuals, puts a lot of effort into it. So well done, Martin. So what he's saying there is Aitken Wood here is Aitken Wood there. The upper reservoir there being that. The top end or the north end of the lower reservoir in there. And then he's put this horizon line on here, which is this horizon line there. And he's indicating that the ground we can't see is dead ground. So it's hidden out of sight by this steep drop off there. So well done, Martin. So the answer was, it was actually taken from Pendle Hill, the trig point on Pendle Hill, big end looking down to the reservoirs down at Black Moss. So well done, everyone. Sorry I couldn't include all the correct answers. I just selected a few there, but yeah, well done to everybody. Thanks for watching. Look out for next week's map reading task. Bye for now.